Hey guys, I'm sorry I'm not here, but if you need a little help with day 3 of trigonometry, I'm going to go over a few problems just to make sure you're ready. So when you're writing the ratios, remember a ratio is just a fraction, so all you're going to do is write the fraction. On this first one, you're looking at angle M only, so don't forget SOHCAHTOA. Some old hippie caught another hippie tripping on acid, so don't forget. So if I want sine, sine is opposite over hypotenuse, so I'm looking at angle M. Opposite is 7, hypotenuse is 25. So you just leave the fraction, that's all I want. So cosine of angle M, remember cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, so the adjacent side is 24, hypotenuse is 25, that's all I want. Tangent, remember, no hypotenuse. So I just want opposite over adjacent, so the opposite is 7, the adjacent is 24. You're not using the hypotenuse. So you'll do the same thing on number 2. Now starting with number 3, you are going to need to show your work, make sure you show which trig function you're using, and then you're going to solve. So you're going to have to decide what information you have. Like on this one, first thing I notice is there's no hypotenuse. So automatically I know that's tan. So you have to write out tan, then write the degrees. And remember, tan is TOA, so opposite over adjacent. So opposite the 48 degrees is x, over adjacent is 5. And remember, if x is up high, that's how you know to multiply. So you'll multiply 5 times tan 48 to get that answer. This one, I'm going to have to decide what I know. I've got the hypotenuse, and I have the opposite. So do you remember which one out of SOHCAHTOA is O and H? I hope you said sine. So I'm going to do sine x, and you have to put O over H. So 11 over 23, and since we don't know the angle, remember to push the second button. So second sine, 11 over 23. On this one, again, I have no hypotenuse. So I know it's tan 54. You have to do opposite over adjacent. X is up high, so make sure you multiply 8 times tan 54. Number 6, you get to choose which angle you want to use. You can use whichever one you want. I think I like the 32 degrees. So I do not have an opposite. There's no opposite. I have an adjacent side and a hypotenuse side. So A and H is cosine. So make sure you write cosine 32. You have to put A over H, so 8 over X. This time X is on bottom. So do you remember what to do? You better have said divide. So 8 divided by cosine 32. So that's how you're going to do those. You do have a few problems where you have to find the area of the triangle. So you'll have to do trigonometry to find that missing piece. Notice there's no hypotenuse on either one of those, so you'll just use tan. So on this one, tan 38 equals opposite over adjacent. X is on bottom, you'll divide. Figure out what x is, and then once you know it, it's 1/2 whatever x is, base times height. So you'll plug that answer in, and then you have to find the area. So same thing on 24. On 25 and 26, you're going to find the perimeter of the triangle, so you're going to have to use trigonometry twice, or you can use trigonometry to find one side and then Pythagorean theorem to find the other side and add all 3 sides up. So I could call this side x. No hypotenuse, so tan 44 equals opposite over adjacent. X is up high. So multiply 29 times tan 44, figure out x, and then you can use Pythagorean theorem to find the hypotenuse, or trigonometry again, add up all 3 sides to get the perimeter. And then finally, this last part is probably the most confusing part. So I did really want to talk about this. So this is the triangle that you're looking at. This says find the measure of angle A, or the measure of angle A is 40 degrees, find A over C. So if I look at this triangle, and I'm looking at angle A is opposite, C is hypotenuse. So the only one with O and H is sine. So I have to look at sine of 40 degrees. So you come to the table, locate sine, go down to 40 degrees, and it's 0.643. So here you're going to put 0.643. I as your answer. So the next one is another A over C. So I know that that has to be sine again, but now I'm going to locate 0.342. So I'm looking at sine. 0.342 is 20 degrees. So I know angle A is 20 degrees. This is another A over C, so it's a sine again. So this one you sine, this one you sine. This one is B over C. So that's adjacent over hypotenuse. So that's going to be cosine. This is another B over C, so cosine. Make sure you use cosine on that one. Let me keep going. A over B would be opposite over adjacent, so that's going to be tan. So make sure you use tangent, tangent. Now we're looking at angle B. So now it's going to change a little bit. So I want A over C, but I'm looking at angle B. So when I go up to the triangle, angle B is A over C, so that's adjacent over hypotenuse, so that one's going to be cosine. So hopefully, so this one, A over C, this would be cosine, so I'd look for cosine 80 degrees. So cosine, go all the way down to 80 degrees, and I get 0.174. So 0.174. This one's going to be another cosine. Anyway, hopefully you guys can figure it out from there. If you have any questions, I will be back tomorrow. You can ask me tomorrow. Have a great day. I miss you like crazy. Bye.